Good morning and greetings. Happy Sunday morning. Welcome back to an all new episode of the 23rd hour, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Maurice Prophet. Now, I know you're saying, like, Maurice, the entire premise of your show was to be a late night show after the pay per view, 23rd hour, the last hour of the day. Here you are hitting us up at 9 a.m. No, Sunday morning in Chicago. It should become the 9th hour, right? So that was first of all, welcome to another new episode of 23rd Hour. Maurice Prophet, your host. And so that was the original plan. The original plan was to go live last night, right after the pay-per-view of WWE Fastlane 2023. We're going to talk about that today. The original plan was to go live last night. However, here's the thing. I wake up every day at 4:50 a.m. 4:50 a.m. on the dot. I'm always up, right? And because of that, I'm just adjusting my my thing on Facebook. This way it's available to y'all. Beautiful. All right, great. All right, we in business. All right. I wake up every day. I'm always up at 4:50 a.m. taking care of my business in the morning and all that good stuff and everything before I go ahead and I go to boxing at 6:30 a.m. Because, as you know, as my other fellow early risers understand as well too, when you waking up at like an ungodly early hour every morning, that tends to carry over into the weekend as well too. So you find yourself waking up at these really early times on Saturdays and Sundays, even though you have every intention in the world where you tell yourself, I'm gonna sleep in, I'm gonna knock out, I'm not gonna be up, I'm not gonna leave bed until noon. And then it never happens. It just never happens that way. You know what I mean? Like the plan never comes to fruition that way. So with that said, yesterday was no exception to that rule. Your boy was up at ass crack of dawn on a Saturday morning where I had no business whatsoever to be up that early at all. And so it got to a point where it's like, all right, forget it. Might as well go ahead and go about the day. So you go about your regular day and all that stuff and everything, not really understanding that most of what you have planned is for the latter portion of the day. You know what I mean? So you got some things in the morning. Most of the day is pretty empty, and the latter portion of the day is where you have the heavy. And that's where I kind of fell into play, where I had the heavy that was happening mostly last night, dealing with this pay-per-view. And because of that, and because Father Time is undefeated, and because I was up early as hell, my body was like, hey, I understand you want to be up at midnight doing this podcast, but nah, we had enough left in the tank, so we're shutting it down. So needless to say, at the beginning of the post pay-per-view press conference, I fell asleep and woke up at about 2-something in the morning, and I was like, damn, I missed it. I missed that window of time. So I was like, you know what? Get your rest, wake up in the morning, and just do a little bit of an early show. Something very different out of the B-Side Studios camp. But here we are. You know what I mean? So instead of having a late night sip with y'all, I'm having some early morning coffee with y'all. You know, going over this whole Fastlane pay-per-view that took place last night on the WWF. That's how you know I've been watching a lot of old school WWE lately, because I've been saying WWF like so fluidly. But anyway, that took place last night, and I don't care. Like no one's probably watching this, and it's fine. It's totally fine. I just want to make sure this is out there. Shout out to anybody who's watching out there. Join us in the chat. Let us know what you thought about Fastlane if you were watching it last night. It wasn't a bad pay-per-view, and for 5 matches too. Like I realized, I'm like, there's only 5 matches that are on this card. So going into the pay-per-view, I thought they were going to do what they used to do back in the day when they would only announce maybe like 4 or 5 matches, but then they'll give us a bunch of like random matches or whatever may have you that might come up. In the meantime, maybe like Miz comes out there and does an impromptu match or something like that, or somebody comes, they might have, we have a unannounced cruiserweight match or something like that, so I thought that was going to happen. Good morning. Now sometimes the good morning, Mr. I thank you for the good morning. I can't see who you are, sometimes, because Facebook is weird, sometimes when you comment on the show, whether it be from like a group or a different page that's not maybe my direct page, it might come up as a general title of whom this is. So I don't know who this is. I apologize for not being able to identify you personally, but I want to wish you as well good morning as well. I really appreciate you for that. so yeah, so I thought that's what was going to happen. Oh, hey, it's Melissa, Miss Ramirez. What's happening, lady? What's happening? I hope you enjoyed the show. If you saw Fastlane, let us know what you thought in the comments. So that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be just another one of those where we get some impromptu matches, but no. But we got actual five matches that filled up the entire show, basically. And these were like 5 quality matches. And I appreciate it because it really was kind of like nice to see. There was no rush. There was no rush, no push, no type of like unnecessary urgency that was put out there to have all of this out there all in one night, So I did like that. It gave the show a different type of pace where it didn't need to feel like we need to get every move in, we need to get every spot in, we need to get every little just every little bang, 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 bang out there. So this way it was done. But this was more so about let's slow down, relax, chill, and let it flow. And it did. And it did. It did successfully. So the first match of the night was for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, and that was with the makeshift team of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes taking on the Judgment Day, consisting of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So for the tag belts, and as you guys know, there's been a lot of back and forth that's been happening on Raw with with these 4. Cody, still some of his residual beef, these that he had with Roman that's carried over into this situation, and also obviously with Jey Uso as well too, coming over to Raw because of Cody Rhodes and being a part of becoming a team to go against the Judgment Day. Let me see this comment. Once again, if you're commenting in certain groups, it might come up as a general username. So I do apologize if I did not see your proper name up there. But I do appreciate you commenting. The Rhodes and Usos win was unexpected, but I love the win. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about exactly. Because I was not expecting that either as well, too. Like, we know that the Cody Rhodes and Jey won the tag belts from the Judgment Day. I thought Judgment Day was going to win. I thought that they kind of like, as a faction, they kind of needed a nice little rebound. I felt that Dominic winning back the North American Championship last week on NXT was like an indicator. Okay, they're kind of like bouncing back into their dominant form. So Dominic wins back the North American title on NXT last week. Priest and Balor, they are going to retain the belts tonight. And everyone's gonna go into Monday holding some gold, holding some gold. But that's not, well, once again, we find ourselves on another Monday, 2 weeks in a row now, where that's not necessarily the case, where there's some gold that's missing from the Judgment Day, and this is what's happening right here. I think it was very interesting because this is the first time that Jey has is a tag champion without his brother Jimmy. And I feel that Jey really has the opportunity of like being able to kind of bleed over into that area, kind of like a Booker T in a way, because Booker T, he held the tag belts on many different occasions with Stevie Ray as a Harlem Heat. And and Booker T did a really great job when it came to transitioning over into becoming a singles competitor and becoming a Hall of Famer as well too, and becoming one of the best in the business. And that what really helped with Booker T a lot was having the individual title when he won the U.S. title. So that really did help a lot. And then that parlayed over to when he became the WWE World Champion as well too. So I feel Jey has an opportunity to kind of like be in that same type of success path as well too. That Booker T saw multiple time tag team champion with Jay. Now he's a tag team champion with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is considered, one of the top guys in the WWE at this moment. So it really is a really great look for Jay to not only be a champion once again, but he is also paired up with, one of the top guys who are in the WWE. Now, obviously, like Dusty Rhodes' son. So, we're talking about a legacy here. No pun intended on that. Only hardcore wrestling fans understand like what I'm talking about when I said that right there. But yeah. I think that's Melissa who just said that as well too. It was an unexpected win. I was not expecting it. It was a very happy unexpected win because I was really happy to see that. And did y'all see? What? Did y'all see the press conference after the show last night? Now look, the reason why I like these press conferences is because the wrestler is going to actually act like themselves. Like we don't have to actually get like a scripted version of themselves, like when they're going off the script and doing their promos, in the back or whatever. We get a real version of them. And last night's presser was no exception to that because if you want to talk about very authenticity, we got that from Jay last night at the presser. And he was drunk as hell. It just let me know that Jay Uso is the guy I want to hang out with. Like, I posed a question to Mid-Card Mess. Who do you want to, like, would you rather hit the blunt with RVD or would you rather have a beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? And so it was a split conversation. Like, some people said they'd rather hit the blunt. Some people said they'd rather have the beer and whatnot. Some said they would hit the blunt with Stone Cold or have a beer with RVD. Hey, you know what? Give me all the above with Jay Uso because Jay Uso looks like he fun as hell when he lit. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please watch that press conference. I believe it's on the WWE network on Peacock or it's on YouTube somewhere. Watch that press conference and tell me Jay ain't the one that you want to hang out with. Seriously, because he was litty committee last night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's once again, well, surprise. Yeah, exactly, right? It was crazy. It was wild. It was a very big surprise last night seeing them win the title. So hats off to Jey Uso and Cody. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen I'm very happy. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with them, with them as tag team champions. But also very curious to see what's going to happen with the Judgment Day as we're going into this new week. Hey, it was messed up, Melissa. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, he was crazy. But the Judgment Day though, let's talk about that though real quick. So once again, they're going to a brand new week, a brand new Raw, a brand new Monday Night Raw, as without a title. And you saw Rhea going in on JD last night. You saw her going crazy on him because he once again he messed up. Rhea, I feel like is just going to dismantle the entire Judgment Day. It's like, you know what? I'm starting all over. I'm taking Dom with me. It's going to be me and Dom. We're going to rebuild this whole thing. Thin you out. Take your boy JD with you. Damian, you're on the fence, but I got to rethink the whole thing because Rhea it looks like she's gonna snap tomorrow night. I think she's gonna go off. You know what Rhea is? To me, it's like you remember when you were a kid? You remember when you were a kid and the school you were acting bad in school and the school called your mama at work. They called your mama at work to tell your mama about how bad you was in school. But the thing is that like you had to go through that period of time between when you knew that they're gonna call your mama at work, between that time and after school, up until the point she gets home from work, and you had to wait that whole time to wait for her to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen? That's what the feeling is right now. It's like, oh shit, man, mama gonna be mad as hell when she see me. So that's what the feeling is right now within the Judgment Day. You know what I mean? With Rhea Ripley. That's mama getting the call from school. Like, you got the school calling me at work about your ass. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all was some badass when y'all was kids. I already know. So y'all ain't gotta act brand new with me. So anyway, so we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, but shout out to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for winning the tag belts last night. That was good stuff, man. That was good stuff. And yeah. You meant Jay, yeah. Jay was messed up. Jay was litty last night, man. He was hilarious. Next match in the card was the LWO, just in time for Latino Heritage Month. Shout out to Latino Heritage Month, all the Latinos watching. The LWO taking on the Almighty Prophets, as I call them, consisting of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Very heavy with the endorsement of Pizza Hut in this match, which, hey, I ain't mad. If Pizza Hut dropped that bag on y'all, you know what I mean? You do and give them some love and shout them out big time. You know what I mean? They even had that nasty ass pizza ringside as well too. I'm sorry, but pizza. But I'm a native. I live in Chicago, so it's like Pizza Hut is not going to be on the radar in terms of like pizza options when you got all these good ass mom and pop spots. However, they're in Indianapolis. I don't trust Indianapolis pizza whatsoever. So I'm sure that Pizza Hut that they had in Indianapolis was probably the best thing they had going on in the city. So shout out to Pizza Hut in Indianapolis. But anyway, the match was good. The match was really cool. Stemmed from a lot of back and forth that went on with Bobby Lashley and Rey Mysterio. They had a match on Friday during SmackDown as well too. So it was a good way to build up this match that happened last night on Fastlane, and some really good spots as well. That's the thing, man. I just don't want Montez Ford to get lost in the shuffle of being a potential main event star, because remember, just some months ago we were talking about Montez being that next man who could be a top star within the WWE, and I just don't want that flame to get lost. So I really hope it's going to be helping him more than hurting him. To be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Montez Ford. I really want to see that man shine. You know what I mean? Because that brother's brilliant. But highlight of the match. The match was supposed to be a 3-on-3. But because one of the members of the LWO got injured, it became a 2-on-3 match, a handicap match. So this match kind of sort of had the vibes of 96 Bash at the Beach when it came to the outsiders and who the third man was to take on Lex Luger, Sting, and Macho Man. So it had those vibes of it, a little bit of it. You know what I mean? Especially because they were teasing it on the image with, hey, who's gonna be the third man from the LWO. And then you heard the new version of "I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool." And yeah, Carlito came out, boy. Woo! Let's go, Carlito, boy. So Carlito came back. Carlito's back. He's back in WWE, like officially. If you all remember, he came back as well back in Backlash earlier this year, when they were in Puerto Rico, and that just like blew the roof off. You talk about like Bad Bunny had to this point the biggest ovation I've ever heard in wrestling in my life. But when Carlito came out, that was just such a great surprise, because nobody was expecting that whatsoever, that it just went it just really worked itself perfectly, And last night was it had that vibe as well too. Like I think there was a little bit of buzz about perhaps Carlito might be coming in or whatever may have you, but it wasn't too heavy, where it wasn't too heavy where it became like, okay, well, now we gotta make this obvious or make this out there because it's out there already. No, so when Carlito came out, it was a really good surprise seeing him. He came out, he became the third man, and he secured the victory as well too. Carlito looked great. As many of you guys know, like Carlito has still been on the independent scene doing his thing out there. And last night, he showed why that he is one of those guys that's like that's just one of those guys, And so he came out there, got the win for the LWO, and secured that victory. So it's good to see Carlito back. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in a full-time capacity or a part-time capacity, maybe a Legends contract. So we'll see him. You'll probably see him at Survivor Series, perhaps, and maybe I'm pretty sure we'll see him at the Royal Rumble as well too. But here and there. I doubt he'll be wrestling every week. And I still think that like there needs to be some type of like recognition that's given to Carlito because his first match he ever had in WWE was against John Cena, and he beat John Cena for the U.S. title. So that's just one of those things where I will never forget about him. When it comes to just his pedigree. But yeah, salute and shout out to Carlito coming back. It's good to see him. He looked, like I said, he looked great. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with him. I'm also curious to see what's going to happen with the Street Profit, the Street Profit Bobby Lashley connection as well too, because as many of you all know, the WWE has just signed Jade Cargill to the to the promotion, to the company. And Jade Cargill, for many of you all who do not know her, she became a phenom in AEW. She's AEW born, grown talent. She was the TBS champion in AEW, which is like one of their titles in the women's division. She was a TBS champion, and she was undefeated for, oh my God. If somebody knows Jade Cargill's undefeated streak record in AEW, please leave in the comments, because it was something crazy like 52-0 or something like that. It was something wild like that. And she suffered her she met her first loss at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view from this past year that took place in Vegas. That was her first loss. She lost the title to Chris Statlander, and that was Jade's last match in AEW. I look at that as like probably one of the best runs ever in wrestling. Like when you think about it, like you went your entire run undefeated. You never were beaten, not until you had your last match where you dropped your title, where obviously you had to lose your title. And who better to do it than the person that you took the title from originally in the first place? It was all full circle. That was really great storytelling. So I'm very excited to see Jade Cargill in WWE. I know she gets a lot of flack though, because she's not like the best wrestler out there. Like that was one thing about her. Like she was a very what's the word I'm looking for? A very magnetic figure to look at. When you would see her in the ring, when you would see her come out, she's a very magnetic figure. Like Jade is someone who walks into a room without even saying a word, commands attention. She's one of those people. She is a superstar. She really is a superstar. And that's why I'm really glad she's on the WWE platform, because she really does deserve like a much bigger audience. But what's great about her also being part of the WWE is that she's going to get that training that she deserves as well too. So she's going to be a much better wrestler. So we're going to see not only just the physical dominance of her presence, but we're also going to see the physical dominance of what she can do in the ring as well. So we're going to see a lot. So we're going to see a whole new Jade Cargill in WWE, which I'm very excited about. And so I know there are a lot of people who are saying that she needs to be teamed up with the Almighty Prophets and whatnot. And I think that's cool. I think it's cool and to be able to go that direction. That's one of those directions where it's kind of like, okay, on the surface, that does make a little sense. But, like, let's see what she can do as well to, like, on her own as an individual within the women's division. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing a match with her when she goes up against Bianca Belair, which goes against Charlotte Flair, which goes against Asuka, Io Sky, which goes against Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. There's so many possibilities of some really great potential matches that we have coming up involving Jade Cargill. So I'm looking forward to that. They showed Jade last night coming to the arena. She came to the arena. She just pulled up in a white truck, came out, shook Triple H's hand, and then we didn't really see her again. But I feel that we're going to be seeing Jade very, very soon, though. We're going to see her in action. I thought they weren't going to wait until the Rumble. They were going to wait until the Rumble to bring her out. But I feel that we might see her next month in Chicago for WWE Survivor Series. Because think about it, like what not necessarily a way to stick it to AEW. I'm not even on that tip right now. And I'm not really on that ever, because I'm not like that as a fan. But I feel that because Chicago is pretty much the home of AEW, is the home of AEW and all. It's it's what New York is to WWE. Then what better place to have Jade debut than in the home of her former employer? You know what I mean? So I feel that's what might happen. So next month we may see Jade Cargill coming out for Survivor Series for a match. I don't know, maybe for a promo. I think a promo will be pretty good. You know what I mean? To have her come out, cut a cool promo, get the crowd hyped up, something short and sweet. You know what I mean? And then go back and handle your business. Because in addition to that is the rumors going around about CM Punk possibly being a part of the Survivor Series as well too. But that's a rumor. That's word on the street. I don't believe none until I see it because all these dirt sheets are dirt bags. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. But speaking of the women's division, the next match at Fastlane was a triple threat match for the WWE Women's SmackDown Championship. And that involved Io Sky, the champion, defending her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Good match, really solid match for these ladies. They obviously we're talking about the likes Charlotte, Asuka, and Io. So we're gonna see some quality work in the ring. Very colorful matches as well, too. Some really good spots and all. Io ended up picking up the victory, getting the win in last night's match. And I think that what it did, though, it opened the door up for there to be an Io and Charlotte program, perhaps like a one-on-one program with those two, which I think will be very interesting to see. Because at the end of the match, Charlotte had Asuka in the figure eight. Asuka was clearly tapping out, but the ref though was distracted by Bayley. Now the thing was, Io had told Bayley and Damage Control to not come to ringside at all. Let me live, let me rock. I'm handling this by myself. I'm gonna be on my own thing tonight. And they let her do that. But Bayley came out to ringside anyway. Io was kind of like, "What the hell are you doing out here? I told you to go in the back." However, Bayley got the assist for Io by successfully distracting the ref. The ref was distracted where he did not see Asuka tapping. And this gave Io an opportunity. She was tapping while she was in the figure eight. This gave Io the opportunity to be able to come off from the top rope, hit the splash on Charlotte while giving the figure eight to Asuka. Asuka was in pain. Bayley dropped from the ring apron. The ref came back into the match. He saw Io pinning Charlotte, and then Io gets the 1-2-3 victory and retains the title. So I feel that this kind of opens up the door for an opportunity for there to be an Asuka and Charlotte program. Charlotte, once again, getting kind of screwed over of becoming the women's champion once again and not being able to get that belt back. I'm pretty sure it's going to light a fire under her, and this could be a good potential one-on-one match we might get at Survivor Series. If we don't get a traditional Survivor Series match involving the ladies in this capacity, this could be a good one-on-one, a really good one-on-one match with the two. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, how that plays out as well too. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I'm not sure what to do with Asuka right now at the moment. I feel that you can give her a you can kind of set her up in a really good mid-card feud. There have been a number of women who have been coming up, from NXT who have been shining significantly. Your Tiffany Stratton's, what's that one chick's name? The Stark chick as well, who's on Raw, who was riding hard with Trish Stratus. You know what I'm talking about. Damn, I can't think of her name right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Those the Stark chick. Her, like I said, Jade's coming up very soon as well. But so there's Candice LeRae also. So there's some opportunity for there to be some mid-card feuds that you can incorporate Asuka in. And I think that I'm not sure if this is real or not, but I saw some kind of a little rumor that was going around earlier this week about possibly a mid-card's women's title. Now I feel that if they do that, because I've been campaigning for a mid-card women's title for years now. For years I've been campaigning for this. But I think that if you're gonna do this, now's a really great opportunity to be able to do this and have that title float between Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. every week. So it's not just exclusive to only one show. You know what I mean? So make that division very interesting, and it gives it some credence as well too, where you have all these women from all three of the shows who are vying after that mid card women's title. And what this also does, it gives a little bit of the light, a break on the light that's shining directly on both Rhea and Io. You know what I mean? Where they're not just like the main focus, but you have now some focus that's centered around this women's mid card title. You can really, if done right, this could be an opportunity to have your version of the vintage old school feel of when Mr. Perfect was the IC champion, the Intercontinental champion, when Shawn Michaels was the Intercontinental champion. During that era of the early 90s, we're talking about like 91, 92, 93 or something like that, 94 even. During that time, and even 1990, when even 1990, during that time, the IC title was like damn near just as important as the World Championship. I'll never forget at Survivor Series 90 when Mr. Perfect was teaming up with all three members of Demolition, and they were going up against the Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and the Legion of Doom. And at the time, Kerry Von Erich was the IC champion, and the Ultimate Warrior was the world champion. And Perfect got in the ring with Warrior. Now, Warrior is the world champion, and Perfect's in the ring with Warrior. Kerry Von Erich, who was the IC champion, was on the outside of the ring. Perfect is straight up like, nah, I want Tornado. You got the belt. I want Tornado. You got the belt. Now, I always thought that was very interesting because you're already in the ring with someone with the belt, with the world title. But you're looking at Kerry Von Erich, who's the IC champion, and you're telling him, I want you in the ring. You got the belt. And I think that moment is so like underappreciated in like super nerdum wrestling history, because it's like him saying, nah, excuse the language, fuck the world title. I want my IC title back. You took my IC title. I want it back. You got the belt. So get in the ring. So I mean, you think about that. That's some gangster shit right there. For real, like, when you really think about that, that's hard as hell. To overpass the world champion. I'm not concerned about you. You're the world champion. I'm not concerned about you. I want the IC champion because that's my belt. You got the belt. You get in the ring. That's hard. That's hard when you think about that, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. That's what really helped place that title on such a high pedestal and give it the credence, give it the respect, and give it the respect that it really deserves as well too. You know what I mean? And that you don't really see that happen that much, but this is a chance to be able to give that type of level of credence to a mid-card women's championship for it, and because you have a whole pool, many talented women, many talented wrestlers on the female roster going after that belt and being able to go between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. You got a division. You got a division. So I said, go for it. Why not? Pull that trigger. You know what I mean? Pull that trigger and let that really materialize into something very fruitful for everyone involved. And like I said, that takes a little bit of a break away from Io and Rhea. It means that there is also there's some room to dance that's in between the tag team, the women's tag team situation, which is really kind of like really janky at the moment. Between that and also the world championships, there's a lot of room to be able to have storylines and be able to have conflicts and be able to have number one contenderships and everything like that leads up to that championship. So I say pull that trigger for a mid-card women's championship, because it really could be something very special. So now we go on to the next match, which is going to be another tag match. And before the match started, we hear My dog looking at me like, dog, what the hell was that? We hear Pat McAfee's song. And I'm like, of course Pat McAfee will come out. It makes sense. They're in Indianapolis. He played for the Colts. He came out wearing that, you know how WWE has that partnership now with the NFL with the championship belts for each team, which is I don't know. It's like I get it. I get it, but they just look so, I don't know, they look so generic. I mean, they look so cheap. I don't know. They just don't look fly to me, man. They don't look fly at all. I would much rather have the side plates. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm more of a less is more kind of guy. So but I digress. But anyway, so we came out with the Indianapolis Colts championship belt. That's the new Fanatics thing, whatever the WWE is going on with the NFL. I don't know what that whole thing is. And I'm like, of course, Pat McAfee would be here. You know what I mean? It's Pat McAfee, obviously, super energy. He's from Indianapolis in terms of the team he played for. He played for the Colts, so it just made all sense in the world. So I was very excited to see Pat McAfee on commentary. I'm a big fan of Pat McAfee. Shout out to Pat McAfee, in his show that he has daily on ESPN. Really great dude. But he brings a different level of energy to the show, and he did that last night. So he joined Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary last night, and then we got into the match, and the match was LA Knight and John Cena taking on Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. So good. So I said going into this match, this was the most important match of LA Knight's career. This is the biggest match of his career. This is the match where he has to shine. He has to look like $1 million out there. Like, he has to look blockbuster, because this is the match where it's going to let them know in the back, this is the guy that we are going to be able to raise and put on that top shelf in terms of being our top star, one of our main eventers, someone who's going to go after Roman Reigns, someone who's going to go after Seth Rollins or Nakamura, whomever retain the title. We'll talk about that in a minute. Somebody who's going to be that poster child of being one of the top guys in WWE. Last night was his opportunity to be that, especially because he's being paired up with John Cena. Now, y'all know I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, all right? I respect John Cena. I respect him. I have none but respect for him in the world. However, I'm just not a fan of his. He's not, to me, he doesn't move the needle for me. You know what I mean? Pause. You know what I mean? So he doesn't really do that for me. He doesn't make me, be like, I gotta shell out $50 to see him and everything. I like to see anyone else going up against John Cena, but I'm not a big John Cena fan. But so when they call him the greatest of all time, it's a little cringy to me. It's a little bit cringy, but I get why, because you gotta put that GOAT tag on somebody in WWE. You gotta have your Jordan, which I understand, but it's like, so better than Stone Cold, better than The Rock, better than Undertaker, better than Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, I don't know about that. So that's why, whenever I say it, I just, I'm like, okay, all right, you can have that. Have fun. But anyway, this was LA Knight's night to really shine. It really was very imperative for him to really, really be able to, do a solid job. So I was surprised. I was a little surprised. I was a little surprised to see LA Knight not, he only got the shine during the hot tag. I was a little surprised by that. I thought we were going to get a little bit more of him. John Cena carried the entire match. And this is why I'm saying I respect him, because John Cena knows how to be able to deliver when it's time to deliver. And even though, what we saw of Cena back in WrestleMania, we saw a shell of himself when he faced Austin Theory at Mania. So we didn't really see the Cena that we are so used to. We got to see that last night, though. We saw much more at John Cena last night that we're so prone to seeing. Someone who could carry a match, someone that could tell a story, someone that can be able to create the drama, someone that will be able to really be able to get us to point A to point B to point C to point D. And he did that last night. So we saw a very vintage John Cena last night. And I think that, and I'm sure because John Cena has all the time in the world right now because of the whole with the whole SAG after strike, he has a lot of time in the world right now, so he can train, he can be down there, he can be working out, he can be working on moves. He has time to, to get better. He has time, and plus the man got bills too. So what I mean, he like, nah, I'm not doing nothing with Peacemaker right now, but I need to get in this ring. So we're gonna actually do something good. So we saw a really great, a much better version of John Cena last night than we saw at WrestleMania of this year. And John Cena carried the entire match. He carried the entire match for the faces for him and LA Knight. And he was in there taking the beat down from both Solo and Jimmy. Solo and Jimmy looked really good together as well too. I'm liking the Usos more and more as they're apart from each other. We're seeing more character development with them as individuals, what I think is really fantastic. It's going to add on more to their to their careers overall. Solo is a badass. I just like how he has like that no nonsense and menacing mentality of being able to take anybody out at any time, and he was exhibiting it last night. And so much to the point that it looked like that it was going to be a cakewalk for Jimmy and Solo, because even Paul Heyman was on the phone talking to Roman Reigns like, hey, you see the way how they are working the hell out of John Cena. This is going to be an easy night tonight, But then boom, what happened? Got that hot tag, and LA Knight came in with a fist of fury and started going off on them. And LA Knight, that's the thing is that LA Knight, he did his moveset, he did everything he was supposed to do, so he shined really well, and he got the 1-2-3 victory, with getting the win for his team. So, and the thing is, though, LA Knight, he did well last night. I did expect a little bit more from him just during the match, but I get it though. You kind of want to maybe they kind of put it that way to keep things a little safe as well too. So this way it turned out to be the right direction. But LA Knight, for what he did though, he shined really well. He was, like I said, he was in the ring with John Cena as a tag team partner. I'm not sure how that conversation was with both of them after the match, but I'm pretty sure it was positive because LA looked really great. The crowd was going crazy as hell for LA Knight as well too. And that's the thing is that if you want to know who to really get behind, listen to the people. Listen to the people. They're the ones who are to tell you who to get behind, who to get by, who to get by, and who to really be able to really invest your time into as well. And the fans are letting you know that we want LA Knight to be that top guy. So the fans were heavy into him last night. He did the damn thing. They got the victory. This could lead to a nice little program, depending on if the actor strike continues to go on for as long as for a number of get my words all mixed up, for an extended amount of time. It really depends on what's going to look like with SAG-AFTRA and the strike going on that's happening in Hollywood right now. So if it goes on a little bit longer, we might see John Cena at Survivor Series, maybe even at the Royal Rumble. Hell, we might even see him at WrestleMania as well, too. Who knows? And I feel that an LA Knight John Cena match at WrestleMania really could be something that could be really great. Especially if we see the John Cena we saw last night. The John Cena actually gave a damn and actually put in the work and actually really was okay, I'm investing into this match. If we see that John Cena at WrestleMania, he kicks on LA Knight, this could be the coup de grace for LA Knight, as a superstar, as a wrestler. To be able to have that moment of wrestling John Cena at WrestleMania, that is what's going to make him into one of the top guys. And I think there's a lot of great things with LA Knight. I feel that there's still some people who are kind of looking at him a little sideways because you can't deny it. His moveset does look a little bit like I bit from The Rock and I bit from Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it gives off kind of like the Eugene vibes. Y'all remember Eugene back in 2004? He was doing everyone's moves. That's what I'm saying. It gives off the Eugene vibes low key. Very low key. It gives off the Eugene vibes. So I don't want to see that with him because he's such a damn talent. But I think he needs to change that damn finisher of his because it feels too much like a Stone Cold Stunner, and the move that sets it up feels like a goddamn rock bottom. So that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta modify a little bit, fam. because everyone keeps calling you you're an Attitude Era reject, basically, or Attitude Era cosplay, and it's like, yeah, they're saying that, but fam, like when you go out there and you do your moveset, you're only putting more gasoline in that fire. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I want to see what you can do. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like, your personal your personal moveset. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. LA Knight came out last night in a really cool Slim Jim car as well too. So that was kind of dope to see. And it was really great to hear Pat McAfee on commentary as well, man. Like after the match, like I know why he was commentating that match in particular, but after the match, I was like, man, just keep him on commentary, man, because Pat McAfee can't do no wrong when he's behind the mics. You know what I'm saying? So it was good hearing him call that match. It was really dope. So this is going to add more to the, like what's going to be happening with the Bloodline. Apparently, Roman Reigns will be on Friday Night SmackDown next week. So this is going to be our first time seeing Roman Reigns since SummerSlam. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, especially with them coming off the heels of a loss, to John Cena and LA Knight. And so we'll see what's going to happen next week with Roman Reigns. And also, NXT is supposed to be like really stacked up as well too, because because AEW is going to be shown on Tuesday night. NXT stacked up their matches to be really heavy, so you're going to have Cody Rhodes on there. I think John Cena is going to be on there as well too. I think they said they teased the Undertaker might be there also. I heard they might resurrect Andre the Giant and bring him in to face off against Hulk Hogan. They're going to have The Rock against Roman Reigns. I'm just talking shit. I'm just being stupid. But all jokes aside, though, NXT is supposed to be a really stacked card on Tuesday night, so we're gonna see how that goes. It should be interesting to see. But I am very interested to see what's gonna happen next with this whole thing with John Cena and LA Knight. John Cena was even asked during the presser last night, if and when the strike is over with, are you going to go back to acting? He, without even taking a breath, without even thinking about it twice, he said yes. I want to go back right now. Yes. Which I get because it's like, you know what? He's been away from the ring for so long that I know them bumps hurt. Like his body ain't used to taking them bumps like that no more. You know what I mean? Like when you are like anyone who's watching, and if you are an athlete, either you're previously an athlete back in high school and college, or you still are involved with athletics now, when your body is getting hit, whether it be football, whether it be wrestling, whether it be basketball, whatever it is, when your body is getting hit so much, it just gets prone to it. You get prone to those hits. Like taking those hits is almost like nothing. You know what I mean? You get so prone to it where it becomes a part of your life. When you are away from that, and when you get hit, whoo, you're like, oh shit. Yo, I used to do this on a regular? Fam! Let me tell y'all something real quick, right? So, earlier this year, okay, so here's the thing. I used to be a wrestler in high school. I had a fantastic wrestling career in high school. It was really wonderful. It was really great. Went downstate and all that good stuff and everything, right? Really good stuff. But it was one of those things where like I didn't finish the way I wanted to finish wrestling. I didn't close that chapter the right way. So I went years of this like kind of like having that hunger still left in me to like, I just want to have one more match, just one more, right? I just want to get in that ring, want to put a singlet on, and I just want to do my thing for one more time and I'll be done, right? So earlier this year, I found this mixed martial arts academy that was in Forest Park. Happy Sunday. Good morning. I'm sorry. Your name's coming up very general, so I can't address you directly, but whoever this is, happy Sunday to you too. I appreciate you for tuning in and watching and giving me the happy Sunday vibes. I appreciate you. So I signed up for this MMA school, this MMA academy. Kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, all that good stuff. And they had wrestling. So I'm like, oh, they got wrestling? Carissa, well, girl, what's happening, lady? What's good with you, girl? They got wrestling? Oh, okay. I'm in this, right? So, now mind you, I just turned 42 years old, right? I just turned 42 years old. These guys are in there who are in their like their early 20s. These are like some swole ass 22-year-old dudes who are just like cut, strong, lean. They still got that young meat on them and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they. I mean, for real. Like, I've lived 2 of their lives already. You know what I'm saying? And so I go to wrestling. I go to wrestling with all of this and just like this desire and fire and energy to be able to get into the ring. And I'm like, yes, I'm finally gonna be able to get back into the ring and do my thing, right? Because I was looking for some extra workouts. I was looking for some different workouts as well, you know, to add to my regimen. And I thought, what better thing to add than going back into doing what I love doing, right? Let me tell you. When I got thrown to the mat for the first time by a dude who was like smaller than me in stature, my body said, "Nope, we done." Hell no, I don't do this no more. But I did it though. I did it. I went to that practice. I went to 2 more practices as well after that. But my body was like, "Fam, you can't keep doing this to yourself, bro. You can't. You are not in your early 20s anymore, man. Them hits, them throws, them slams, hitting the mat, having to get back up, hit the mat again, get back up, hit the mat again. That was no joke. That was no punk whatsoever, man. And you want to talk about pain? That was it right there. So, and needless to say, ever since then, I have not had the itch to get back into wrestling. However, I am very happy to say that I was able to go back. I did it. I proved it to myself. I scratched that itch I had in me for so long, and now it's done. It's over with. You know what I mean? But I say this because I get where John Cena is coming from, where he's like, I don't want to keep on doing this. The money is good, yes. The adulation is awesome, yes. The crowd is amazing. The electricity is unmatched, yes. But I know my body. I want to take care of myself. And I don't want to always rely on this. So I totally get John Cena when he gave that very fast yes. Take me back to Hollywood, get me back on somebody's film set, get me back in somebody's trailer. I will act my ass off. So this way I do not have to be in that goddamn ring anymore. I feel you, Cena, for real. I get it though. But when it's in you, it's in you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was talking about with Edge on Sunday, is that it's one of those things, when it's in you, it won't leave you. You know what I mean? And so some people are built for it, some aren't. But I'm not even mad at Cena being that transparent, that honest about that. You know what I mean? But I thought that was hilarious. It's time for the main event, y'all. It's time for the main event, y'all. Main event, y'all. It's all good, y'all. Main event, y'all. It's all good, y'all. So yeah, so we're going to the main event right now, and that is for the world heavyweight championship. Seth Rollins defending the title up against Shinsuke Nakamura in the last man standing match. Let me say this was Rollins' best match as world heavyweight champion. This was his best match that he's had since he's had that belt. And the thing is that now I feel that Rollins should have dropped the belt last month to Nakamura at Payback. The way they were setting this whole thing up with Naka and Seth, the story that they've been telling when it comes to how bad Seth's back is, and Nakamura's like, I know your Achilles heel. I know your secret. I know what you're not being honest about. Your back is broken, and I'm going to decimate that motherfucker. Excuse my language. Sorry about that. I know it's really early, and I know it's Sunday, but still. But you get what I'm saying, right? And I was like, this new version of Nakamura is who I want to see hold that championship for at least even just a month, month and a half, right? Give him a very short title run. Give him something short and sweet, a burst of something different, just to give us a little bit of variety, and also just to add some intrigue to Seth being the world champion as well, too, right? Not everything has to be a victory in order to be able to get over or be able be able to elevate yourself as a star. It doesn't have to be a victory all the time. Sometimes your biggest victories are from your losses. Seriously, and that really is a fact. And I felt that this was a trigger that was worth pulling at this time, because between September and December, you have a lot of room to be able to kind of like experiment a little bit and put the title on this person, see how the crowd responds, or put the title over here, and just get a reaction. You know what I mean? You have some good real estate within those months to do something different, to be able to do something a little bit outside the box. Because then you go into January, you saw what worked, you saw what didn't. Now we know what we need to do in order to be able to get to WrestleMania and have a successful show. So I felt like, why not have Nakamura beat Seth Rollins and win the championship at Payback, hold the title either for a month and a half, leading up to Survivor Series, drop the belt to Seth either at Fastlane or at Survivor Series. But you can afford having that short title run with Nakamura being the champion. But they didn't pull that trigger, though. You know what I mean? So so we go into last night. Last man standing matches very much favor the faces a lot. Like I feel like historically, when you look up the last man standing matches, I think the faces they've won most of them. I believe one only time I really remember a heel winning was when Triple H beat I think it was Chris Benoit he beat in 2000, I think it was, in the last man standing match. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Especially when you talk about the World Championship being on the line as well too. And they held nothing back. They went crazy. They were fighting all over the ring, inside, outside. They went into the crowd. They went into the fans. They were everywhere. With this match. And Seth ended up winning. He ended up winning the match, and he retained his championship. So the reason why I brought up a little bit earlier, though, in terms of like why it wouldn't have hurt to experiment something a little bit different with Nakamura, is because now, it's justifiably so, fans are a little okay. I think I'm running out of gas with Seth Rollins as world champion. I saw it last night. I saw it in the mid-card mess. I saw it on Twitter, now X, whatever we want to call it. I saw it on Twitter. I saw a few comments on IG as well too. Fans are starting to get a little bit, tired of it, and they want to see Nakamura win the championship. And I agree. This new version of Nakamura is thrilling. It's thrilling, like just this very like this menacing samurai that he's become. It's amazing seeing what he's doing right now. Seeing the promos that he's delivering. He's delivering all of his promos in Japanese, in his native tongue. You know what I mean? So he's much more comfortable being himself, being who he is, being how he was when he was wrestling in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing this version of Nakamura that has not been seen before. And even the commentators did a great job when it came to like explaining how Nakamura for so many years in the WWE was really trying to adapt to the American style, adapt to the American fans, and trying to really assimilate himself, within this culture, from a Western standpoint. But it got to a point where Nakamura was like, no more. No more. I should not have to kowtow to your standards where I have my own that I need to adhere to. And I respect that. I respect the hell out of that, because it's like, why do I need to kowtow to your standards when I have my own that I have embedded within me? And Nakamura is showing that when he does come out and he does his thing. When it comes to his entrance, very Japanese influence. When it comes to his ring attire, very Japanese influence. When it comes to his promos, very Japanese influence. Even to the point last month, where he came out, but the video was an anime of him. It was an anime of him being like this menacing samurai. And I'm just like, this man needs to win the world championship. Why not? Right? Why not give this opportunity? What's up, Mo? What's up with you? I'm sorry once again. So on some of the groups, it shows you guys as very general, so I can't see you specifically who you are. I apologize about that, but I want to say what's up to you as well too. I appreciate you tuning in and for the love, so thank you. But yeah, people want to see this version of Nakamura being the world champion. And I cannot agree with that more. I was screaming this last month. But even to the point where like I really, really, really believed that he was going to win the world championship last night. You know what I mean? Oh, what's up, Brianna? Hey, happy birthday, Brianna. Today's your birthday, right? Happy birthday, Brianna. Happy birthday, Brianna. Happy birthday. What's good with you, lady? But that's what I'm saying. That's my thing though. It's like it should have happened last month. It should have happened last month, man. And they didn't pull that trigger. And now I feel like fans are just kind of like, whatever. Because now what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, what do you? I mean, obviously Seth Rollins is the world champion, so there's a lot for him to do. You have Damian Priest. He still has his Money in the Bank contract, obviously. So he's in the mix. You know what I mean? You have LA Knight, who just had the match of his life. He had the match of his life last night. So of course he's gonna be elevated as well too. Absolutely, you are absolutely welcome, B. Absolutely welcome. I've been knowing Brianna for a long time too. That's the homie from back in the day, boy. I swear. You have a lot. So you have a lot that's going on right now in terms of like who could be that next one to go after Seth Rollins. But I'm sorry, but like this is something that you could have had a good 3-month program with when it came to something very interesting, something very thrilling pertaining to Seth Rollins, the World Championship, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Imagine if Nakamura had won the title at Payback, right? Last night, it could have been the story of Seth doing whatever he could do to keep the champion down for the 10 count to win his belt back. What lengths would Seth Rollins go through to even put his back on the line, his entire body on the line to win back that championship? It's a lot of drama that you could have really been able to build up with that. Now, I don't know if they didn't want to like waste that at Fastlane because, what the hell is a Fastlane anyway, pay-per-view anyway. I'm not sure if they didn't want to waste that at Fastlane. But you could have had Shinsuke drop the belt, win the belt Payback, retain last night at Fastlane. Seth Rollins wins back the belt in Chicago, which is like low-key home ground for Seth Rollins as well, too, because he trained in the Chicago, Iowa area, and he's a big Chicago Bears fan. Thank God they won on Thursday, so we ain't got to watch them today. But I'm just saying, though, and have Seth Rollins win back the title at Survivor Series. Big pop at Survivor Series of Seth Rollins winning the World Championship back in Chicago. So you mean to tell me we could have had, in a perfect world, it could be like this. In a perfect world, right? Jay Cargill comes out, cuts a promo in Chicago, which is arguably AEW's home base, right? Jay Cargill comes out in Chicago Survivor Series, cuts a dope promo, boom, right? If the rumors are true, CM Punk comes out in Chicago. And we all know CM Punk is from Chicago. He lives here. Literally, I seen the man in Wicker Park. I was getting some Lebanese food one night. I was getting some Lebanese food at the spot. It's on Milwaukee and Paulina. I don't know the name of the place. Some good ass falafel though. Shit. I'm coming out the Lebanese spot, and I see this guy coming my direction. This dude looked kind of like, he kind of stands out a little bit. It was right when Punk had that arm injury when he tore up his bicep. Dude coming down the street with the whole mechanical RoboCop looking arm thing, going on with, all the metal and everything like that. It's CM Punk. I'm like, oh shit, right? But I'm like dumbstruck, so I didn't know what to say. Punk, Phil. I didn't do all that. I was like, oh shit. And we made, what I mean? It was just one of those situations. That's what I'm saying. He lives in Wicker. He lives in Chicago. He is here. So you had to have Punk come out, right? And then on top of all off, you can have Seth Rollins win back the World Championship in Chicago. There's three major variables that could have happened. You know what I mean? That could have happened. And that could have really been like a historic landmark of a moment as making 2023 one of the best Survivor Series of all time. You know what I mean? Excuse me, my apologies. But, man, talk about missing the damn boat with that, right? I mean, 2 out of 3 can still happen, obviously. But that third variable, that would have been the cherry on top of the cake. The cherry on top of the cake, right? Have Rollins beat Nakamura in Chicago. cage match, whatever you want to call, whatever stipulation you want to throw out there, right? Old school Chicago street fight, whatever, you know what I mean? Had Rollins win back the world championship, and then CM Punk come out. CM Punk comes out. Yes. I know y'all are tripping right now. Like, holy shit, that would have blew my mind that happened. Blew my mind. Right? The entire show ain't no sign of Punk, and CM Punk comes out, and we end Survivor Series with Rollins and CM Punk in the middle of the ring, face to face, eye to eye, in Chicago. Man. Now, technically, that could still happen. That could still happen. You know what I mean? But but just that missed opportunity of having Rollins win back the world championship in Chicago at Survivor Series, one of the big four. That is one of those moments in wrestling that stands still with time that you just don't forget about. You know what I mean? That will be one of those moments in wrestling where you will 15 years from now be like, man, you remember 2023 Survivor Series? Woo-wee! The way how we all still talk, all us diehard wrestling nerds, we still talk about 2002 SummerSlam, 2002 Survivor Series, WrestleMania 17. You know what I mean? Money in the Bank 2011. We still talk about these events even decades in the future, and they need to have that right now. They need to have a current pay-per-view where we're going to talk about that in the future, 15 years down the road. Yo, why my phone just started? Hold on. Wait, my phone. Wait. So, I'm sorry, y'all. Just bear with me. My phone just started playing the replay for some reason. All right. Hey, shut up. I'm sorry, guys. All right. But that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, that could have been one of those moments where we are that will live forever. We got comment. I don't like Punk in any way, but that will be something that will be exactly Facebook use exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Punk has been on some. He's been on some funny stuff lately, right? He's been on some doofy stuff. But that would have been great to see that. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, imagine the internet that night. The internet that night would have exploded. It would have gone insanely berserk. You know what I mean? Had that happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just missed opportunities of that. I just not too much of a fan of. But we can still probably get something like that's kind of similar, you know? But from what I understand, Punk is not what he used to be in the ring. Can he hang with Seth? Now that's true. Punk is very injury prone. Hey, what's up, B? Okay, that was Brianna. Okay, cool. Punk is you're absolutely right. Punk's not what he used to be. He's not the CM Punk from 2011 that we saw at Money in the Bank when he beat John Cena. He's not that. Punk is much more injury prone. Punk, obviously, like I was talking about earlier, when it comes to Father Time's undefeated, and we see it in him. Even when you watch him wrestle, you kind of watch him very cautious because you see how blown up he can kind of get, and it's like at any minute now his body could give out on him. You're right, but the difference is though in WWE style of wrestling is specifically designed to protect you for the long run. So that's why the WWE style is much more slower pace. And it's much more easier on you when it comes to the wear and tear because you have to be so involved, you know, with the matches over and over every night in and night out. That's why their matches are not as like high speed, you know, because they go by standards and practices, and because of that, that's why the wrestlers can last a lot longer. Now in your AEWs, your ROHs, New Japans, we're talking about much more high impact. So injuries will kind of take over a little bit easier. But Punk in WWE though, in a WWE setting where he won't have to wrestle as much and carry a brand on his back the way how he used to, is more suitable. Now, when it comes to Punk, I'm very concerned about how he'll be able to fit with today's WWE culture, because today's WWE culture is very different than how it was when he was there in 2010, 2011. real quick. The promos between Seth and Punk would be insane. They would. Man, I mean, that right there is a dream match. Punk versus Seth Rollins, absolute dream match. Without question. It will be a dream match. And that could be Mania worthy. That could be something that we might see at Mania in Philadelphia. But I mean, we shall see. But going back to what I was saying about the culture, though, because the culture in WWE is much different than what it was before. And if Punk brings some of that attitude that he was having in AEW, that's not going to fly. It's going to be, we're not going to give you any more second chances. You literally are on here on probationary status as of right now. If you act a fool one time, you're out. You're done. Because you need us more than we need you, basically. Now, also, on the other hand, it might be a better environment for Punk because he ain't got to deal with the McMahon family. And I know there's a lot of tension between himself, Vince, Stephanie, and I think to a degree Triple H, but I think Triple H is a little more cooler when it comes to working with Punk because he knows what Punk could bring. But I think that could help Punk when it comes to being in an environment that he can feel more at home with or more at ease with. But there's no McMahons, but now you got a bunch of corporate heads who are there, so who don't really know you from Adam. So that might be another factor too, as well too. Who knows? Punk has some ties in Hollywood, so that might help him a little bit when it comes to working with the people from Endeavor. So that could work in his favor, but who knows though? But I feel that the environment is much different, so he has to change with the environment. He can't expect the environment to change because of him, and that was the problem. That was the problem of him in AEW, was that he was expecting for that environment to be changed because of him, but it's like, no, it doesn't work that way right now. It doesn't work that way. You've been gone for like 7-some years, so it doesn't work that way anymore. This is a whole different page in the in the book right now, and you have to abide by this. But he wasn't trying to go through that type of assimilation. But I feel that hopefully AEW kind of humbled him. The experience that he had at AEW kind of humbled him and made him realize, okay, I recognize my errors, I recognize some of my wrongs. So I'm going to go into this WWE opportunity with a much more open mind. And I hope I hope that's the case. I really do hope that that's going to be the case with if the rumors are true with CM Punk. Now, personally, I would love to see CM Punk come out at Bound for Glory in a couple of weeks, because Bound for Glory is going to be here in Chicago as well too for Impact Wrestling. I think even as a one-time appearance, that'll be really cool just to be able to see Punk in Impact Wrestling. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be really cool. That's why I never liked Punk from the beginning. His arrogance is on another level. Yeah. He is arrogant. But sometimes arrogance is good though. Sometimes arrogance ain't bad. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need some really bold, very unfiltered, very unapologetic arrogance to be able to get your point across and be able to let people know that who you are. You know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of need that though. I mean, I get why it's a put off, but at the same time though, it's admirable because it was that arrogance that got him to the top of the mountain. It was that arrogance that got him to become, a multiple-time WWE champion as well. And he held down all the belts in WWE at some point in time. So, I mean, right, I'm with you, but at the same time though, arrogance could be good. Like what from the movie Wall Street, what did Gordon Gekko say? Greed is good. Greed is good. Arrogance is good. Arrogance is good. So I don't know if that was Gordon Gekko or that was Donald Trump. I don't know what the hell that was. Well, that was something. That was that was called too damn early in the morning for your shenanigans, Maurice. Oh man, I got problems. But anyway, but yeah. So overall, though, the last man standing match was cool. It was really good. It was really I need to give him more credit. It was really good. Shinsuke hit Rollins in the face with the mist, the Japanese mist. It was red. It wasn't green. It was red. And it looked like blood on his face. I was like, ooh, it looks like blood. I love it. Yes. It looked like blood was all over his face. That looked really cool. I understand that, Mo, but arrogance 24/7, that can be too much. It can be. You're right. Too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing. You're absolutely right. If you walking around thinking your shit don't stink, thinking that you all high and mighty above everybody else all the damn time, that gets old very fast. I'm with you on that, and I can see how his way can be a very big turnoff. I'm just saying though, like Punk, I'm a fan of Punk, and I'm not sitting here trying to cape for him or anything like that to go against you, because I do recognize what you're talking about. You are right. I guess I feel like the dose that we get of Punk is enough arrogance where I'm okay with it, and at the same time, it's like I wouldn't character-wise, I wouldn't expect anything else from him. I wouldn't expect anything else. So I'm kind of in the mindset where I'm just like, I'm okay with that, But when the arrogance is a detriment to other people that you're working with in the locker room or whatever may have you, or in your work environment, when you're a detriment and when you become a physical threat, then yeah, I'm with you 1,000,000%. Then your arrogance needs to be shelved and you need to sit your ass down. So I'm completely with you on that, 1,000,000%. But like I said, like the red mist looked really cool on Rollins. It looked like blood. And like I said, this was Rollins' best match as the World Heavyweight Champion. This is the most memorable one. This will be the one where we'll look back and we'll be like, that match was cold. You know what I mean? Because his match with Balor at SummerSlam was good. It was a good match. It was a good match. I don't think it's one of those where you're going to really remember it too much. You know what I mean? But the last man standing match with Naka is what we're going to remember. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Naka moving forward, because especially with this new character of his, this character is so cold-blooded. I love it to death. I almost don't want him to ever be a face again, because I love what they're doing with him right now. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do next with Nakamura, because I don't know if they're going to go any further with this feud, especially going into Survivor Series. I'm sure they'll probably do something special for Seth Rollins for Survivor Series. It probably won't be up against Roman Reigns. I don't think they're going to do that match, champion versus champion. But we're going to see what's going to happen, though. I feel that they should do for Survivor Series. They should do your traditional Survivor Series matches, and they should do each match is a Raw versus SmackDown, SmackDown versus NXT, NXT versus Raw, whatever combination. But it should be someone from one side of the brand against someone from the other side of the brand. I know that goes against what I said earlier about Io Sky and Charlotte Flair, but whatever. Sue me. I don't give a shit. I'm playing, y'all. I can't be a dick to y'all. I'm playing with y'all. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that next month. This is the time where it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to be going down, because like I said, it's a lot of Chicago love that's going to be happening within the next month. Like I said, we have Bound for Glory coming up in Chicago in a couple of weeks. It's going to be on October 21st and 22nd at the Cicero Stadium. So check that out. It's going to be Impact Wrestling. AEW is going to be returning back to Chicago for AEW Dynamite on November 22nd. I think it's around Thanksgiving or so. So AEW will be in town November 22nd, and that Friday, WWE will be at the Allstate for SmackDown, and WWE be back at the Allstate that Sunday for Survivor Series as well too. And yes, Carissa, yeah, I was saying AEW is coming back to Chicago on November 22nd. They will be at, I think, at the Wintrust Arena for that one, at the Wintrust. So we're gonna see how that goes. It's good. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of wrestling love in Chicago, y'all. If you're in Chicago and you're a big wrestling fan, it's a ton of wrestling that's happening within the next month and a half. So go out, check it out, get tickets. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole lot of fun. I'm still on the fence about going to Survivor Series. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to what's called Impact Wrestling for Bound for Glory. I cannot wait for that. I'm really excited about that. Oh yeah, and apparently Shane McMahon's son was in the audience. When they showed him last night, they were saying we got Devon McMahon or whatever his name is. We got Devon McMahon in the crowd. They showed him with all his football friends. I guess he goes to the University of Indiana. And I'm like, oh, they got this guy who got the McMahon last name. I come from that. That's a little bit Shane McMahon's little boy. I'm like, what? Y'all remember at the beginning of WrestleMania 20 when they did the whole video package at the very beginning, and they said where it all begins again. They show Vince, Shane, and the little baby. That's a little baby. That's a little baby. You want to talk about feeling old? God damn. You know what I mean? Gary, what's up, bro? That jawline and cheekbones. my man. Hey, the real, hey, Gabe, you my inspiration, bro. You are the sole reason why I'm in the gym twice a day at least. Seriously, you are the sole reason why I'm doing boxing and playing fitness every day. My thing is like I want to every week do at least I want to do 12 to 13 workouts every week. That's like my objective right now. Is to be in the gym twice a day, 6 days a week. One day where I go 3 times. That's like, here or there. But at least 12 times a week. And yeah, man, and really make that into my lifestyle. Really incorporate that into my lifestyle. I've seen what you've done for yourself, brother. I've seen the way how you change your entire lifestyle, how you change your entire look, just the way how you've been killing it when it comes to like what you're doing with mixed martial arts, what you're doing the gym in general, and how you transform your body, bro. But you inspired the shit out of me, man. I'm like, I need that in my life. I need that consistency in my life, and that's what's been going on, bro. So salute to you, brother, for real, for keeping me inspired, my man. And really make sure I put in that work and everything, man. I see what you're doing. I want to make sure I'm doing the same thing as well for myself. Just because you know how it is, man. We're getting older out here, and we can't depend solely on Western medicine. So it's like, why not use our naturally born, naturally gifted gifts of what we have within our bodies and use our body to be able to become the best version of ourselves. So, my man, salute you, brother. I love you, bro. I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you for real. And yeah, Chris. Yeah, 20-pound love Chicago. Yeah, before you got on, Chris, I was talking about that earlier about how Chicago is pretty much like the is to AEW what New York is to WWE. So absolutely, and I'll say that because what better time to have Jay Cargill debut at Survivor Series, the home of in Chicago, the home of AEW. So it would be really great to be able to see that. But we're gonna see what happens though. It's a whole lot going on. It's a whole lot going on in the city, a whole lot going on in wrestling. This is a great time to be a wrestling fan, just in general, y'all. Like, I don't care if you are a hardcore WWE fan, hardcore AEW fan, hardcore New Japan fan, hardcore ROH fan, AAA fan, whatever you are. I don't care where you are when it comes to like your dedication, when it comes to your loyalty, when it comes to pro wrestling. This is a damn good time to be a wrestling fan. There's no better time than right now to be a fan. Everything has gone up. Everybody's up. Matches are great. Matches are frequent. Events are exciting. It's just a really great time for this. So just make sure you keep an eye on what's happening. This should be a really good week in terms of what's going to be going on next with WWE and AEW. Check out Tuesday. Tuesday going to be a monster show as well, so we're going to see what's happening. But anyway, before I get out of here, y'all, sorry about that. Before I get out of here, you guys, another big week for B-Side. Obviously, we're kicking off the week with this 23rd hour episode, wrapping up Fastlane. So we're kicking off the week right now with this. Hold on 1 second. Oh, wait, hold on. I think wrestling promotions in general love Chicago because we're just loud. Yeah, we loud as hell. Yes, we are loud. We are loud, and the energy here is unmatched. It really is. I think the only place I would give a salute to when it comes to matching energy is probably New York, in Philly. But here in Chicago, it's a whole different landscape when it comes to just wrestling fanaticism here. It is like insane here when it comes to wrestling fanaticism. When you go to an event at the Allstate, at the Wintrust, at the United Center, even at the Cicero Stadium, we go to a pro wrestling event here in Chicago, the energy is just ridiculously crazy. It could be the smallest indie show to the biggest WWE show, but the energy is always going to be crazy wherever you go around here for pro wrestling. And that's why promotions love coming here, because they know they're going to get a really great energy and they know they're going to make some good ass money. Like, that's one thing when you're in Chicago, wrestling fans are going to come. It doesn't even matter what your promotion is. It really is like a hot spot here. You could be a small independent wrestling promotion. As long as you put some posters up and you put the word out, people will come to your show. I've been to the Logan Square Auditorium here where they have like some was it APW or all APW shows, whatever. So all pro wrestling shows, whatever. Some of like the indie shows, and they be packed. We're talking about the Logan Square Auditorium, which holds like probably like 400 people. That motherfucker is packed. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you really do make some good money here, and that's why they show up. One day I'm gonna do a wrestling show. I'm putting that out there. But anyway, no, that's what I'm saying. It's a big week for B-Side. Like I said, kicking out the week with 23rd Hour right now. A whole new episode of Buzz and Bizzle will be dropping this Tuesday on the B-Side Studios YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out as well too. We got another comments. Who this? Mo, I still have not been to any wrestling shows yet. Hey, you have not been to any wrestling show? If you, because I only saw it as Facebook user. If that's you, Brianna, you got Impact, Bound for Glory coming up in a couple weeks. You got AEW coming up next month. You got WWE Survivor Series coming up next month. So you have all the opportunities in the world to hit up and go to a show. Go to a show. It will be the best time of your life. Is Brianna okay? All right, I see you, B. B, you haven't been to a show yet? B, come on, let's go for real. You know what I mean? No, you need to go to a show straight up. Seriously, you need to go to one of these shows. Go to SmackDown at least, for real. Honestly, it's gonna be at the Rosemont, so make sure you go to that. Honestly, you're gonna be at the time of your life. Even people who don't even like wrestling, they love going to the live shit. You know what I mean? But like I was saying though, we got this right now. I'm dropping a new Buzz and Bizzle on Tuesday morning on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. All new Sipping and Tripping, where it's going to be this Wednesday with just the best De Leola, and we are shooting a brand new Nerdium this Saturday, which I want to release in a couple of weeks as well. So be on the lookout for that. We got a whole bunch coming at you guys, and also some more programming next week, and some new stuff that we cooking up for next year. So make sure you're on the lookout for that as well too. Be sure to follow B-Side Studios on Facebook. Follow us on IG, bside.studios. Also go to our website, bsidestudios.net, to see what we have going on, what we have cooking. But like I said, keep up with us on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us, see all of our programming. That's our central hub where you can see everything. All right. But we got a lot more in the burner. Anyway, it's Sunday morning. It's your boy. Y'all enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy your time with your family. It's Sunday fun day. Sunday rest day. I'm resting my ass off today. I'm going to be swallowed by the couch monster in a little bit. And I'm doing nothing but watching football. For real. All right. And Bears won on Thursday, so I'll have to have stress today. I know the Ravens are playing the Steelers today. So I got the Ravens winning. I'm not underestimating the Steelers, but you know what I mean. But shout out to Baltimore. Hopefully Lamar Jackson gets that W today. and flock on, baby, flock on. All right. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. It's been real. Thank you all for joining me this morning. I really appreciate you guys. I will be back for a new episode of 23rd Hour after Bound for Glory. Because I will be there. I will be at the show. So I'll be coming back. I'll be doing a very late night wrap up of that show with you guys. So that will be on the 21st of October. So in about a couple of weeks, I'll be back on with a new episode of 23rd Hour, and we'll talk about Bound for Glory. Until then, y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. And I'm out. It is what it is. I holla at y'all. 23rd Hour, baby. Peace.